Yo! Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game. Today I'm first UK, Hippie, playing against GregularExpressions, a generous channel joiner, playing 3rd Armoured Division on the USA. We're on death row today. Basically, the map is me favoured because I get a good hand in this zone and I get most of this zone, which does make it harder for him. In terms of the matchup, late game I will lose. His tanks are better than mine. His IFVs are better than mine. Um, his helicopters are better than mine. The early game, I've got the advantage because my forward deployment's better than his. He hasn't actually brought LRS, which is his airborne forward deployed equivalent. And yeah, I've got Rover, Milan, Paris, and so on. So early game, I've got the momentum. Late game, I lose. And death row is very much a smack each other in the face for 40 minutes kind of map. So I can't afford to just take my part of Echo and take Alpha and just sit there on a +2. I can't afford to do that. So looking at the deployments, we've got GregularExpressions here. He's opening one scout here with the ACAV. ACAV is a little overpriced if you ask me. Basically, some geezer did some rush strat, and Balance Man nerfed it because of that. I wonder who that guy could have been. Anyway, so yeah, ACAV's going up here to cover, and then he's got the scouts. Scouts do not have AT. And then the Mutt CP is going to Foxtrot Echo, and he's bought a second one for Delta Alpha. In mid, we've got a sniper coming up to here, and then a Black Hawk with air cavalry, air cav troopers coming in here. So he's going to try and take this at the start. So my forward deployed does get there first, but he's got a helicopter which is going to kill it, basically. That's the idea. And then behind that, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 Bradleys, and these are the M2A2s, so they've got 5 armor, which means they resist 18 AP rockets. They're very good. And they've got TOW 2As on them, which deal 25 pens, so they are very good. They will beat my regular warriors handedly, but they cost a lot more. They cost 30 points more. And then a Pivads for joint AA and anti-infantry. And then a CV. My chair is really squeaky. I really need to sort that out. I don't think it's picking up on the mic, though. It is. It definitely is. Anyway, so the Bradleys are going, to mid basically. But yeah, he's going to try and seize this at the start, and that will kick me out of Echo, which is supposed to be his zone basically, and Alpha's supposed to be my zone, I guess. He's also got a Kyoto Recon going over here to mess up my deployment into Alpha because this has Hellfires on it and it's Recon, so it'll shoot my guys coming in. And he's got this 40-point TOW 1 launcher just to cover the flank there. And a supply coming up to here, presumably for the Kiowa, once it fires its Hellfires. Switching to my deployment, I know, as I just said, that if I just sit here and hold this, I will eventually lose because his tanks are better, his IFVs are better, his late game is better. No doubt about it. So I'm going to heli rush him, and I'm going for Foxtrot. So we'll go right to left. I've got a Rover Milan Para just coming up to here to cover this road, doing the same job as this basically, but I'll get there first because I'm wheeled and I'm airborne forward deploy, and he's tracked and he's recon forward deploy. SAS patrol going up to here. It's a very common spot. 1 CV going Bravo Alpha. SAS patrol going over to here. And then SAS patrol going for Foxtrot. Another SAS patrol going for the other side of Foxtrot. A Rover Milan on the left going up to here, which incidentally is where he's sending the ACAV. It's a very powerful spot because it lets you see a lot. That's basically all it is. Recon Helo just so I can spot him. I know he's going to put... I assume he's going to put a recon unit in here at the start because that's just typical. And so that's what the 6 Gazelle rockets are for, to kill that recon unit. I've then got a supply truck for the Gazelle rockets because they run out of rockets straight away. They've only got 12. and it fires at a rate of 167 per minute, so it doesn't last long. Mortar for smoke, a Lynx Hell Arm to take out vehicles, Warrior Replique, so this is my best IFV, so it's 25 points cheaper, but you know it's got less armor, less range on the ATGM, less accuracy on the ATGM. The Raden isn't as good as the Bushmaster. The MMG is the same. Mine's actually faster, which is interesting. But yeah, obviously his is better, but mine's cheaper. And another Warrior Replique here. And I'm covering it with a Tornado, and he's covering his force with a 185-point Phantom, which is supposed to be significantly worse than my Tornado, because that costs 250 points. So let's cast the game, and we shall do so from this perspective. Right, so they're off, and it's time to thank the generous channel joiners. Generously joining in the channel, they get the names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. Their fighter beats my fighter, despite my fighter costing, you know, 65 more points than their fighter. But that's okay. That's why when you become a generous channel joiner, you just get 100% ECM on all your units, basically. So they both rout each other. I didn't even notice this. This missile's really fast and really accurate, so it takes that one out. Then it starts coming for this one, and I break the LOS there. But I unload and I see this thing, and it's not great, because obviously I brought my fighter to sort of stop this sort of thing, but my fighter got routed by his fighter, so at least his isn't up. A minute passes, and just try and hit that guy straight away. So the ACAV manages to kill my Rover Milan Para. He drives his CV in there. I immediately buy another Tornado, and he immediately buys another Phantom. We start going for each other's helicopters. This one cost loads, so I went for that first. And now I get my just deserves, and I win that fight. Tag the hog on my way out, but don't kill it. But I get routed by the Pivads, which is bad news, because now this hog can just come and shoot everybody. These don't have guns on them, they can't shoot helicopters, so they're just getting bullied by this hog with 1 HP. But the Warrior Replique's coming down, and that has pretty good anti-helo capability at the relevant ranges. It is moving, so its accuracy is not going to be great at all. And you see it's still actually doing quite a lot there, despite it moving. So if this guy had taken one volley, he probably would have died, because he's only got 1 HP. So GregularExpressions is... Bradley's have broken through here. I'm just going to be calling him Greg from right now on. It's just easier. And so he's managed to actually take the whole mid, but I've managed to take his Foxtrot. The Gazelle rockets are back up. I've been trying to keep them repaired and stuff. Bradley versus Warrior Replique, you know, his 70% accuracy. You cannot try and fight that. So I smoke, and then and then I kill him and his misses, so okay, I guess that was quite lucky. So, Gazelle Rocket's trying to take out the dragons, but you see the power of the Bushmaster. It's pretty big. It's pretty big. So we stun him up. I mean, he would have got this if we hadn't stunned him up there. We got Bathgate, who I suppose is related to Gareth Southgate or something. I don't know. I've never heard that last name, but Beecroft. Yeah, so the Lynx Hell Arm, I tried to take out the Bradley, but the snipers are really good, and they just killed that straight away. So the Gazelle rockets, some of them didn't get their ammo back, so that's why they're split like this. So we do a little damage to aircab troopers, but they only carry 12 rockets. You'll see that I'm now smoking my CV from across the map here to try and stop him. So he doesn't know if there's infantry in here, so he takes his Bradleys back out. And the dragons have a minimum range thing. So if I can just sit in the smoke, I'll be fine. My Rover, I'm trying to get it... So I used it to get here and then cap this, and now I'm trying to cap Foxtrot. His first Phantom's back out from earlier, and he's got a HE bomber. Mine will take longer to come back out, my Tornado, because it got more damaged. So he's taking out all my helos here with the Phantoms, and you see he's using the bomber as well, because that's got AIM 9Js on it, which are they're not as good as Ligmas. Like, this is also a J. I mean, that's why it's cheaper, right? So here's the Tornado with the AIM 9 Ligma, so it's got 60% accuracy in the same range. And so I missed there, and then I'm like, oh great, there's 3 planes on me, so I evac, and yeah, so I dodge those missiles because I've got high skill. It's only RNG when it happens to my enemy. When it happens to me, it's skill based. So I'm trying to get some AA up here, but I mean, trying to shoot down an eagle with a javelin is not great. So my overinvestment in helicopters has cost me a bit because they're all just dying now, and I can't control the air. So I'm losing Gazelle rockets. I thought these were landed, but they were not, and so I'm losing them all, and they're very important to keep alive. I was trying to get this over to there, but I got fire team AT Ford. I didn't even notice that happening, and so Blues managed to get a CV back into here. Does take out the rover Milan there, and the warrior fleet goes down. Things happening everywhere. The Gazelle rockets are still dying. It's very sad. I'm trying to get back in here. You see that the fire team dragons wouldn't be able to shoot this if it stays in the smoke. So I leave the smoke and get shot by a hog. I'm really smart. So I lose the warrior replique there to, I think, the fire team dragons, because this deals 18 AP, which makes it one-shot these. So it's actually a pretty good matchup in that respect, because there actually aren't that many 4 armor vehicles. There's a BMP 2, which you see a lot, and there's this, which you don't see that much because it's only on this division. So now I have 3 tornadoes out, the 2 that repaired from before, and I bought a 3rd. And so I 3v1 that guy, which works in my favour. The hog has been landed, and sadly this one gets evac'd and this one gets evac'd, and now I've only got 1 left. So that pivot has put in a lot of work. So I'm trying to get back up here with some warriors, and you see the fire team dragons. I mean, they beat my arm rifles there in a 3v1, which you'd expect. But, you know, dragons used to be a lot better because they used to have more range, and now they don't have that range. They get bullied by IFVs, whereas before they had the same range, basically. And because vision was worse, you basically couldn't see them. But now it's definitely in the IFV's favour, the meta, as it were. So, managed to drive this guy back into here, and in contesting this zone, we get the +2 back. I lose yet another thing, but we finally get that pivot. Over here, I've moved these arm rifles up to here so I can intercept people as they come in. And I'm just warrior spamming, basically. So this was my 3rd tornado, came out for that hog there, because he's not got his fighters up, right, his eagle and whatnot. So there's a lot of back and forth when it comes to trying to get air superiority. Like, when your enemy fighter's down for repairs or refuel, that's when you launch your bombers, and that's when you try and get your momentum. So, warrior fleet's tearing into this fire team 84 here. I mean, he should pull back to here, but really, I was going to get him anyway, because arm rifles, they've got worse AT, but they've got 2 machine guns, so they would beat fire team 84. And these American snipers are absolutely crazy, man. They've got 2 snipers for the same price as all the other ones in the game, which get 1. And so they beat 7-man squads. Routinely. So yeah, they are very good. So Apache comes in here, and this is the anti-warrior, and I tried to get it, but the eagle's on me, and then he doesn't confirm the kill. He clicks over here. He had 840 rounds there. He could have killed that, but he came back. I guess he was worried that I would have AA back here, or that I would buy another tornado or whatever, which right now I would. So that sniper goes down to the other arm rifles, and we get that mutt there. But he knows where my CV is, clearly, and remember, my tornado's down, so now he can bring in his bombers, and he misses it. I mean, the payload on this isn't great, and he wasn't aiming right on top of it, so he could have neutralized it, but yeah. So then I lose yet another helicopter, and it's well, the helicopter's going down today. But I'm finally starting to get a decent AA net. So the tracked rapier routes the eagle. Killing his assets with British AA, which is basically the worst in the game, is very difficult to do. But yeah. So then I start sending stuff up here because I want to get around to here. But there's this guy here, and he actually manages. So he hits me, but I've got 4 armor, and that only deals 16. But he got 2 hits there, so it definitely paid for itself. And I'm missing a lot. Over here we get the Bradley with the arm rifles, but we're out of laws, so we can't kill the mortar. He also broke LOS there. And we're desperately trying to take this guy out, but You know, we finally get him. But yeah, like for a 40-point unit, it can do a lot of work. And so now he's trying to mortar my SAS patrol. The snipers mean that like he's just not getting in there basically. Took out the CV there. This guy, I think he just lost vision because the M whatever died, and so he can't see anymore. So he's trying to bring this around, and this will kill all that because I forgot to bring AA. Phantom has been repathed. No, never mind, it's coming back now. But yeah, the Scimitar's trying to go in on the Kiowa. I guess if the Warrior Applique and the Scimitar had engaged at once, I would have been alright. So Phantom goes in on the arm rifles there, and it'll take that one out. And the Kiowa is free to take out the Rover Milan. These are good, they're just really difficult to keep alive, and they're not cheap. It's 120 points, which is why I went for it straight away with the thingy-mabob. So, I'm not sure what happened there. I think I broke LOS. But I can't tell because of the smoke, or I just got very skillful there. And now it's my turn to get my fighter out, and these helicopters are still up. So I take out the Kiowa first because I know I can kill it, and then the Chaparral routs me, so the Apache's actually going to survive. And yeah, I'm shooting this man with mortars apparently. And I'm just trying to burst them down, because if you get like 2 IFVs on them, 2 Radans on them, they're basically going to get stunned up and panicked and everything. And now what he's doing now is he's actually running out of his own range to fight back. So Bradley against 2 warriors, I mean, I was going to get him right. 55% accuracy times 2, so 110% accuracy. Finally bring up an AA for this, get an AA for this. And so he's trying to reinforce with Bradleys and some engineers here to deal with the arm rifles. But the fact of the matter is that I can, because this is cheaper, this is 100 points, whereas this is 125. I can get more out in a minute, right? I mean, I still can't buy 3 a minute, although I could if I went for the warrior gun groups, which I also have in my deck. But I can get like 2 of these and a Scimitar, say, something like that, because this is 55 and these are 100 each, so that's 1 minute's income. And so basically it takes 3rd Armoured a long time to build up, and 1st UK is a bit faster off the bat, but late game he's got a big advantage, and so that's why I'm just constantly trying to keep the pressure on and attack stuff constantly, because as soon as I give him time to reform, although given our lead he's not got much time, then it gets tougher. So now I'm trying to take out this Apache, so he manages to land it there, and then the Chappie hits me. Thankfully the Stinger misses me, but then the Chappie hits me again, and he's on the ground now. And then the Chappie hits me again, so it's very, very effective apparently. So, arm rifles against engineers. I am 2 vet, but he is engineers. But the thing is, he's out of satchel range. The other thing is that a mortar round just hit me in the head, so I guess I'm going to lose. And now I'm trying to push this and push that. I have to smoke everything up here. Rapier's got smoke now, and the autocannon almost got me there. And I'm trying to go for this. Basically, I just can't give him an inch of breathing room. His div has the late game, right? And now we're on a +8. Trying to go in on the back point here. So he's trying to reform, right? He's trying to get some tanks and IFVs, but it takes him a long time to get those. So yeah, I get hit there. And yeah, so we're trying to push into here now. Obviously, 1 warrior versus 2 Bradleys is not going to do so well, but like that one started moving or something, so I managed to get it. I traded favorably there, trying to get the rover in. For some reason, it's got 1 HP. I'm not sure what happened there, and I bought a tornado HE so I could lose it to the same Chappie spin shooting all that stuff there. Not quite sure why I did that. I guess I was going for the Apache. But yeah, this is how you use Apaches. You keep them right over like a bunch of AA, and then the enemy always dives it, and then he always dies. So I'm trying to hide behind the house here, my 1 HP, and then I sneak out from behind the house so I can get shot at. So I'm really smart. But he misses that somehow at that range. And Rapier's trying to engage the Apache. He's flying over all my AA, but it's British AA, so you know it doesn't really do anything. and we're on a plus 10, and we win. So yeah, I figured I'd cover it because he's a generous channel joiner. We saw each other on the ladder. His rank was higher here, and he had like an 80% win rate. But I guess after I beat him, he had a sort of downturn in his fortunes. But yeah, last time I checked this, it was 80%. So it's a shame. Maybe he switched to a different division. So yeah, we got the good side, which helps. And I've played 4 times more games than him, which helps. Um, But the KD was pretty similar, and it comes down to I know that his division will beat me if I don't just constantly attack him, constantly, and he sort of played into that. If he had, because he tried to take both middle zones at the start, and then he didn't respond well when I like went for his back zone or side zone or whatever. Whereas like third armored, you got to play it really slow. Um, so So yeah, he was basically trying to play the game I was playing, but my div's much better suited to it than his is. Third armored, you just got to play it slow and blob basically, and get those eagles up and play a really slow game. Like if he'd gone for I'm not sure really. I mean, I suppose he could have tried to take his side point back slowly and then tried to take the mid point back slowly, but I'm not sure really. I don't play enough third. All I know is that it's a slower div than first. So, I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you around. GG.